Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, the other primetime game, Bills Steelers. That was a great game.
I heard. I'm mad I missed it.
That was another,
I missed that one too.
That was another close game. The Bills made the playoffs. They clinched. Did they clinch? Were they in the playoffs?
They clinched the playoff spot.
They clinched the playoffs.
Last year they were in the playoffs, right?
No, I think it was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago with
They've made it 2 out of 3 years.
with
Tyrod, right?
But before then, it was a 17-year stretch of no postseason for the Bills, and you see them this year. They're absolutely killing it. Some would say with a pretty bad quarterback. I know he gets a lot of national media coverage as being a young and upcoming guy with a lot of gifts, and he definitely is. He has all the physical tools, and
He's fast.
he's
Athletically
athletic.
talented.
He's tall, big hands, good in the cold weather.
Great arm.
Fantastic arm, but what'd you say? He couldn't hit water falling out of a boat?
He couldn't hit water falling out of a boat.
Yeah.
He couldn't hit the side of a barn, my guy.
I mean,
So inaccurate.
He's pretty inaccurate.
inaccurate.
Very inaccurate. His completion percentage, I think, is 59.1% on the year.
Ooh.
And by no means do the Bills have a, McVay, Shanahan offense, and they definitely don't have the weapons with John Brown and Cole Beasley and with Dawson Knox being their primary receiving options.
It's pretty crazy.
But John Brown's a beast.
He is a beast.
He actually is pretty good.
He's fun. But
been pretty good.
my point is they don't have a superstar. They don't have any stars.
Yeah.
John Brown's went from like a deep ball guy, just sent him on a 9 route, to like being a complete route runner and running every route on the tree. So.
And they don't have like an amazing running back either. Like Devin Singletary's good though. He's very good.
good.
And
I like him.
he has some promise for the future. I
His
think he's gonna be a
elusiveness
good
and his
running back.
patience. It reminds me so much of Shady McCoy, and it was great that he got to learn from him a little bit. So
True.
What stood out to me real quick with this Bills game is how close of a game it was against the Steelers, because, the Steelers have been pretty good despite all their losses. Mike Tomlin's done a great job, but the Steelers aren't really a team to really, beat your chest about that you're beating, especially if you are a team that's supposed to be playoff bound and really good. But I think that goes to show the importance of coaching and how good of a coach Sean McDermott is. That defense obviously is loaded, and they're not going to have a bunch of national media attention. So a lot of people might not know who's on that defense, but they have the personnel to match up with absolutely anybody. They can play anything they want. They can leave, the linebackers can play with anybody. They can put their safeties deep. They don't need to have them help. And I think this weekend when they play the Patriots, it's going to be a really good matchup. So I really like the Bills. I really like what Sean McDermott has done with that team. Despite their shortcomings with their quarterback, their weapons, they are a hard-nosed team that will get after you on defense and run the ball.
Their defense is nice.
They entered this past weekend. They were 5th in rushing offense, and they were 2nd in scoring defense. So that's a team that has a clear identity despite their roster shortcomings. You look at a team like the Cowboys. That team is loaded. You're going to look back in this team in 2 years and be like, how the hell did that team flat out like that? And are you serious? They lost to who?
Yeah.
You look at a team like the Bills, where it's not really all there, but goddamn, do they have their identity? They believe in their coach and they believe in each other.
Most of what the NFL is that exactly. Because last year with the Rams, dude, everyone believed in McVay, everyone believed in his system, everyone believed in the team, and that's what McDermott has.
Buying in is huge.
McDermott has the locker room with him, man. Yeah. They're all with him.
He's completely changed that culture.
Yep.
Bills Mafia,
like you said, like Josh Allen, he's not that great of a quarterback, but he's making it work. Mm-hmm. They're making it work with him.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with that: their defense has been balling out, but it can only get you so far,
Yeah.
Like this. Especially from a year-to-year basis, defense is less consistent from a year-to-year basis.
Mm-hmm.
Offense, usually defense regresses over years, year-to-year. Like, look at the Bears. They're still having a great year, don't get me wrong, but they're not like they were last year.
Perfect example is the Jaguars.
And look at the Jaguars a few years ago. They had all those sacks, all those defensive touchdowns, and then they fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other side, the Steelers, they're technically the 6th seed right now.
They still have a chance. They're still in it.
I really don't believe in Duck Hodges. I don't believe in any other quarterbacks, honestly.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know. James Conner looked pretty good in his first game back in a little while.
He's always hurt. Juju Smith has been hurt. They lost Antonio Brown. They have a good young receiving core, which we've been able to see with James Washington out of Oklahoma State. You got Deontay Johnson, who's been a really good player.
Very good.
So they have had a couple guys who are surprising, but for me, for the Steelers to be even relevant with all their losses, and they have a guy named Duck Hodges. I mean, the guy's known for being a duck whistler. I don't even. It's just that's beyond me.
He did ball out in the first couple games.
No,
that he
he's
played,
looked.
though.
I mean,
You
he's
gotta
had.
give him credit
He's
for
an
that.
undrafted rookie.
Yeah, he's had games where he's looked good. I mean, this is last game. I don't blame him. The Bills' defense is one of the best Ds in the league. But if you want to make noise in the playoffs, you're gonna have to play against teams like that. It's nothing but teams with good defenses,
And
especially in the NFC.
the way the Bills were playing, how aggressive they were in that game, I'd say that there were a lot of plays to be made by Duck Hodges that he just straight up couldn't deliver on.
Yeah.
It was just poor execution on his part.
It'll come. I mean, he has the rest of the year if they make the playoffs because the Titans are right there. So we'll see. But their defense, man.
It was
That's
nice.
CSD.
It was like really nice to see the Bills in prime time and succeed in it. Like
Right?
it's
It's
been
been a
12
long time.
years since
12
Sunday Night
years.
Football. 12 years.
Wow.
And like seeing all those undervalued, underrated players kind of get recognized in the spotlight was kind of nice, such as like Micah Hyde. I know Micah Hyde. A lot of people are aware of how good he is as a safety. But
Jordan Poyer,
Jordan
Tre'Davious
Poyer,
White
yeah,
was
Tre'Davious.
phenomenal that game. Those are guys that don't get that much recognition, but they're phenomenal.
because they play in
And-
Buffalo, and they don't get
And they
that
play in
much
Buffalo,
exposure.
and that's what you need on your defense to win. Be a good defense that is completely bought in. And just you see, like the Jaguars, they're not bought in. They're done. They gave up. Coughlin was fired today. Breaking news.
Get rid of the boomers.
They're falling apart. I mean,
boomers.
the team's not
It's just
bought
the
in.
boomers.
It's a new league now, man. It's going to be a lot of young minds are going to start coming into the league. A lot of these college coaches are going to start taking over.
This boomer mindset, it's done.
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin's done. He won 2 Super Bowls and he's done.
Yeah.
He's done. He built 2
He's
Super
past
Bowls.
his. I
Not
mean,
too
he's just
shabby.
past his. It's his years have passed him, man. It's a different NFL now.
a new era.
Let's run the ball.
Lamar Jackson, baby.
Let's run the ball on 2nd and long. We're gonna stuff it down their throat. Okay,
Not anymore.
you're gonna lose 10 games at least a year.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, the only positive that's really going on with the Steelers right now is their defense. Their defense is unreal.
Oh, their defense is filthy.
I love their defense so much, man. They
They,
T.J. Watt,
Dude,
was-
Minka.
They made a big gamble trading their first round pick. When in
Paid
the
off.
season they're struggling, could have been a very high pick for cornerback Minka Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins, who was, in my opinion, being used incorrectly. He was being put up to the line of scrimmage and being used as a covered press guy when that was not his skill set. He was okay in that regard, but now he has more space, and I mean he has what two or 3 pick sixes. I
Yeah.
think he has like
Yeah,
6
Doesn't
interceptions.
he have like 4 touchdowns? Like
He's just
as
been
soon as he got
absolutely
there?
balling out.
Yeah.
Roll Tide. But what do you expect? He went to Alabama, so
of course.
I'd say like my favorite thing about the Bills and their defense is they have a stud on every single level of their defense. They got a stud on with Jerry Hughes
That's a
on the
good point.
defensive line.
Oh yeah.
They've got
At
Tremaine
all?
Edmonds. He's finally like blossoming. He's only 21 years old, man. This kid is gonna be nasty. Like he is a freak. He's what is he? 6'5", 250. The guy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
and he can cover anyone sideline to sideline. That's why I cannot wait for this Patriots matchup this weekend.
His coverage definitely stood
gonna be
out
good.
last game.
The first
I
game was a
mean,
good one.
Was
First
it a
matchup.
7-point game? Something like that.
The Lions at?
No,
The first matchup?
The first match, I think it was
What it
16 to 10.
6-point game.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong, but it was
And
close.
the Patriots look worse than what they did.
Yeah,
Bills
maybe
are
they're not
better.
trying right now. Though.
Maybe they're not.
The Patriots are regressing. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, that,
That
offense is abysmal.
Those putrid. They don't have any offensive playmakers, it looks like. I mean, their offensive line isn't as dominant as it was in the last couple of years when they really started to pound the ball late into the playoffs. Sonny Michel last year was a guy that was over 1,000 yards, and I mean, he has. I was looking 202 rushing attempts and I think 740 yards. It's just
They
mind-boggling.
really
They-
need to focus on just using I think they really just need to focus on using Sony Michel and James White. No one else. Get Rick
No
Burkhead
one
out of there.
else.
Get Bolden out of there. There's no reason for
Rex
them to get touches,
Burkhead,
man.
baby, got a touchdown this weekend.
I know, but
Hell
there's
yeah,
no
that-
reason for them to be using these guys.
Maybe it keeps them
focus on using
unpredictable.
Michel and using
Getting
James
a little
White.
off topic here with the Patriots.
Well, they do have an amazing coach. And speaking of amazing coaches, who's your coach of the year?
Oh wait, I wanted to bring something else up.
Oh, go for it.
So Jerry Hughes, I was still talking about how they have a stud at every level. Jerry Hughes has 46 pressures this season, which is 26th in the league.
Wow.
They got Tremaine Edmonds, obviously. The game's really slowing down for him now. And cornerback, obviously, Tre'Davious White.
Beast.
Top 3 corner easily.
Beast. He's so good, man.
I think I still think he's not getting enough credit this year, at least. Just because if you look at his stats over here, it's like right up there with Stephon Gilmore. You look at passer rating allowed, Gilmore has allowed a 32.8 passer rating, while Tre'Davious White has allowed 43.9. This is adjusted yards per coverage snap. Every coverage snap, Tre'Davious White's allowing 0.43 yards. So adjusted yards, if you guys don't know what it is, it takes into account also touchdowns, sack yardage, and interceptions as well.
Gotcha.
And then Stephon Gilmore's at 0.46. Coverage snaps per target. Tre'Davious White gets targeted every 6.6 coverage snaps. Just in coverage, doesn't include run plays. So every time a quarterback drops back. And Stephon Gilmore gets targeted every 6.1 snaps. And then coverage snaps per reception, Tre'Davious White is allowing about 12. I mean, he's allowing a reception every 12 coverage snap. So, and then Stephon Gilmore's at 13. So every 13 coverage snaps on average, he's allowing a reception. So those metrics they're
been
very
balling.
similar when
I
it
mean,
comes to that.
He's definitely. I think this year he's probably top 2. It definitely. I would have Gilmore in front of him, but I think he's.
Oh,
second.
sure.
Sure thing.
Hard to take away from what
A lot of
Stephon
that-
Gilmore has done.
Dude.
But definitely a lot of that turnaround has to do with Sean McDermott, and
Yeah, 100%.
who should be a nomination for or in consideration for Coach of the Year for sure.
Whether he wins it or not. Definitely.
Whether he wins it or not, you have to at least consider the guy and give him at least a thought.